Hello viewers, hope you're all doing very well. This is MJ. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to pleat, iron and fold a sari. I hope you like this video. Please stay tuned. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm actually trying to show you the beginning part of the sari, which is the one that you usually it goes inside and then you drape the sari over the this part, and it usually has a fall stitched on it, so that's another way to identify. The pallu is the opposite end of the sari, which is what I'm showing it to you now. So when you're pleating and these pleats, you use the pallu to do the pleats. I'm showing you now like how to do the pleat using your hands, and this is the moment that you actually use to do the pleats. But if you're a beginner, it may be slightly more challenging. And so what you do is, if you're a beginner, if you can't do it this way, you can lay the sari flat on a ironing board, just the way I'm doing, or any other surface, and then you can actually do the pleats that way also, as I'm used to doing this way. So I'm just going to do the pleats using my hands. So the technique here is that you try to get the pleats at the same width, so that like when you're wearing your sari, when you're draping it, it'll really look very beautiful. And also as you're ironing it, it actually makes it very neat. Okay, as you can see, I have set the pleats, and one end should be facing you and the other end should be facing the opposite direction as you're arranging the pleats, as I'm doing it here. I'm just making sure they're all at the same width and they're laid flat. Please take your time, and this step takes some time. Once you're comfortable, you can either use a safety pin or the pin that I'm actually using here, just to secure the pleat, the first pleat. Or if you don't want to make any damage to the sari, you can always use hair clips as well, and to secure them in its place. The reason why we are doing that is just to secure the pleats, and as you're folding, and the pleats won't move and they stay in the same place. I've already set my iron in a silk setting, or very low setting if you don't have any specific settings. You have to continue to follow the same steps and continue to actually pleat and iron and secure it with a pin, as I'm doing it here, as I'm showing you, until you actually get the desired length. You just have to check, what length you want the sari pleats to be, as I'm doing it here. As you can see, I'm just checking. Usually you get it just below your knee, just yeah, and that's basically what you need to check it. Once you're happy with that, what you do is you just lay the sari, um, and then spread the pleats instead of actually uh, doing ironing the pleats at the same place like we did before. You just have to spread them, and I'll tell you now why we are doing this. So you just spread it in such a way that in equal parts, and then you just have to iron it over. When I say iron, I don't mean iron. It's, you just have to press it on. There's a difference between ironing and pressing it. As you can see, I'm just slightly pressing it. The reason why I'm just pressing it as opposed to doing a proper ironing is because it will leave marks on. I just don't want to leave too many marks in the sari, especially because it's a silk sari. And that's why I'm pressing the sari as opposed to ironing it. So once you do that and happy, you just put the sari over you, So all you have to do now is fold the sari, leaving the pleats part out. So I'm taking the other end of the sari. This is the sari, inner part of the sari. This goes inside and you drape the sari over this part. You take that part and you simply have to fold the sari just like you do it in any other way, normal way, and fold it over. Once again, you're not actually touching the pleat part of it. As you can see, I'm leaving the pleats part out. I'm only folding the rest of the sari. Once you do that, you lay the folded part flat on the ironing board, as I'm showing you here. What you do is you're just going to arrange the pleats over this folded part of the sari and spread the pleats. I hope you can see it. I'm trying to adjust it so you can actually see it better. I'm sorry about the lighting. As you can see, I'm simply adjusting the pleats and spreading the pleats. And then you're just going to lay the pleats over and then continue to fold the sari. You simply have to follow the steps here as I'm showing you. Okay. At this stage, you can actually you can fold the sari in two different ways. I'm going to show you both ways. This is the first way. This is how I do it. And then fold it again. So there you go. That's the first, that's how I do it. This is one way of doing it. And the second way, I'll show you the second way also. Yes, at this point, you fold the sari again, like this way. And fold the sari over into 1/3. And then fold it over. That's another way of doing it. This way it actually helps if you're traveling, and it works as a great space saver. You can either do it this way or the other way. It's individual preference, but I'm just showing you two different ways of folding the sari.